The event doesn't start for another 2 hours and the most popular house is already at capacity. Art is just having fun over by the window. If you were to tell me that house was going to be my favorite house of the year, I would have said that you're absolutely joking.
Florida Man!
Hello guys, and welcome back to another Florida Man YouTube video. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jade.
We are back here at Halloween Horror Nights for day 2 of the 31 Days of Horror Nights challenge. We did 5 houses yesterday. Hopefully going to do the other 5 today. Let's jump on in it. If you guys haven't watched day 1, I highly recommend it. We broke down kind of how to tackle the back portion of the park. So today, let's figure out how to tackle the front portion of the park. This is going to be the biggest houses, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people. So we're going to do Stay and Scream. We're going to get our pass over at Minions and see how the lines work in the new soundstage area. If you guys are used to previous Horror Nights, you know that towards the great and powerful Jimmy Fallon, there's about 3 houses. That is not the case anymore because our prized Rip Ride Rocket is being gutted for parts. So there are 2 ways to get to the 4 houses. 5 Nights, WWE, Grave of the Flesh, and lastly, Terrifier. It's a little weird that the 4 biggest houses are, as soon as you walk into the event, all I can see is people checking in, seeing 4 houses and immediately going left. I think every single night, these 4 houses are going to have the biggest waits. So all the other houses, the ones in the back, they should be reasonably slow. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous how to tackle this, so let's figure it out. Yesterday when we checked into Stay and Scream, we got a black band. Today is green with a little QR code that says scan for house details. And I'm sure that it's color coded for each night, so that way you're not sneaking into Horror Nights.
I'm gonna sneak in anyway.
Instead of going all the way down to New York, cut left at Jimmy Fallon and you'll see that there is a wristband checkpoint to get to the other 4 houses. So there are 2 entrances to get to the 4 houses. Alrighty guys, so bit of a rush. I'm going to show you guys the exact breakdown of this front area, but right now it is a nightmare. We're in line for 5 Nights at Freddy's, we're in line for the Express. However, the line is already at capacity, so if you are getting into the event for Stay and Scream, immediately run to 5 Nights because it will get busy fast. As you can see, this is the front, and this is the start of the queue. Thankfully, we're in an AC-filled soundstage, which is very nice. There's actually, it's a little hard to see over here, there's a big TV right here to keep everyone entertained, which is nice, but we still have a little bit of time till the house opens, and the line is long. We just got out of 5 Nights at Freddy's. Immediate reaction, awesome. If you like the games, you're gonna love it. Not scary at all.
Let's go!
I mean, this has to be probably one of the easiest houses to get into horror with. Walk in this house, even as a kid, you'll have a great time with this. It just feels like you're walking through the movie. Let us jump to our next house. So I just want to get you guys a little allocated with where we are. So this is the entrance that we came in earlier with the rest check. This is the exit for 2 of the houses over here. And to our right, you'll see you can actually go back and visit the 4 houses. So let's go. Once you come to the big clearing, you'll see that there are in fact restrooms back here, which is awesome. Terrifier and Grave of the Flesh is over to the right. 5 Nights and Wyatt, WWE, is going to be over to the left. Back here, the houses do open at staggered times. It looks like Terrifier, Wyatt, and 5 Nights are all open. Grave of the Flesh opens at 6. What I recommend is do 5 Nights first, then Wyatt, then Terrifier, and then Grave of the Flesh will be well open. We're walking back where the Wyatt 6 house is, and this is a portion of the line for 5 Nights. There is about hundreds of people in this soundstage right now waiting to get into this house. This sideline here is for Express. If there's any way to convince that Express is worth it, this is it right here. Now, if you were to take that first entrance as soon as you come over to the park, you would come this way, and the first house you'll see is 5 Nights at Freddy's. As you can see, it's 180 minutes. Over to the right of that is going to be Wyatt 6 at a lovely 45 minutes. Let's jump in line for that. Wyatt 6, pleasantly surprised by that house. I mean, we have no idea what the Wyatt family is about. I know that there's a lot of deep lore and there's a lot of meaningful parts for the WWE community. Jane, what do you think?
Scary.
It was pretty scary. It's kind of funny because I feel like 5 Nights and Dolls and Fallout, they're fun houses. They don't really hit the scare factor.
Yeah, this one kind of fits the horror quota for this year.
This one's more of an intense house. Now for the intense house, Terrifier.
This is gonna really fit the horror quota.
This is the one house I was not looking forward to. As soon as they announced it, I went, fuck. There is 2 paths at the end, a dry and wet path. We're gonna have some people do the wet path. I'm gonna do the dry path because I got you guys. I don't want to get you guys wet. All right, I did it. I got done Terrifier. Honestly, it was kind of silly. I don't know why everyone and their mothers being like, this is the most terrifying house. I thought Insidious was worse last year than this house. But I mean, it was a Horror Nights house.
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty scary. I'd say there was some ounce of silliness because of the clownness. We didn't do the wet path, so I don't really know what that was like.
Yeah, the wet path was closed. So they had a team member sit in front of the wet path. Towards the end of the house, it will say dry path to the left, wet path to the right. But all in all, it wasn't bad. All right, guys, we just got out of Grave of Flesh. Honestly, pretty solid house. There's a podcast about it, and the podcast kind of sucks, I'll be honest with you. And it has little to nothing to do with the house. I mean, it sets up the plot that there's monsters in this graveyard, but that's like 10% of the house. The 90% of the house is actually beautifully done. Awesome aesthetic. The creature designs are great. I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised. Now we are out of the whole soundstage courtyard. We have one house left, and it's Jason. I'm excited for this one. After doing the 4 houses in the front, what I can kind of confidently tell you the best way to tackle the front is to immediately go to Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't see a way of easily doing Five Nights at Freddy's during the day. Stay and Scream is really where it's at. Either go do Stay and Scream and jump in line for Five Nights, or later on after 12 o'clock, get in line for Five Nights. The cool thing about the line is it's covered, it's an AC. You guys are gonna stay nice and cool. After you're done Five Nights at Freddy's, shoot over and do Wyatt 6. After Wyatt 6, do Terrifier. And then after Terrifier, do Grave of the Flesh. Exactly the way that we did it. By the time you're done, it should be around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Come out of here and do El Artista. You got 5 houses down. So then work your way over to the back. Jason's over by Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you go left, go through New York, hit Jason. As soon as you're done Jason, go have fun in the back. Art is just having fun over by the window. You are never safe in Horror Nights. Every corner. Art seems to be having a lot of fun backstage. He does not care. This is crazy. It looks like Art pops up randomly throughout the park, but one of the areas that he does come out is the alley where Transformers is right behind me, this door here. So if you see a crowd hanging out, he's coming out. If you see the crowd moving around, that's where he is. He definitely brings a lot of people. It's very hard for him to kind of stay hidden. But I mean, he just walks wherever. It's Art. If you hang out in front of Embroyo Books, this is the door that Art will come in and out of. Oh, speak of the devil. We're walking over to Jason, and they have this rat-a-tat-tap poster. Obviously, the car drove through it, putting all the ooze. The scare actors are working hard today. They're doing an amazing job. So let's knock out the last house of the event, Jason. Yesterday, I said to you guys at the very end of my video that on top of the 31-day challenge, I'm going to have different challenges throughout this challenge. A challenge within a challenge. In fact, 13 challenges within my 31-day challenge. It's a whole lot of challenges, but stay with me. This video series would be incredibly boring for you guys if every time I was here, I did this house, and then I did this house, and this house was good, this scare zone was good. So, to give you guys the full Horror Nights experience, I'm giving myself 13 challenges to do during this 31 days. As we go throughout this series, we're gonna have a little checklist, and we're gonna go down each challenge. Now, these are the 13 challenges. Our first challenge is to do every single house 10 times. Now, as silly as that seems, that's 100 runs with 10 houses. The more we do it, the more experiences I can kind of tell you about. You know, these houses are young, they need improvement, and doing them 10 times, we get to see the evolution of these bad boys. One of the big aspects of Horror Nights is the food. So, our second challenge is to try 13 different snacks. Horror Nights has a ton of different mottos. See in the fog, never go alone, and that's exactly what I'm doing. My next challenge is to go alone once. Go through every single house completely by myself. The creative team does a great job at including a ton of references and Easter eggs in all the houses, tribute store, and scare zone. So it's gonna be my job for my next challenge to include 13 Easter eggs for you guys. Really bring out some of that Horror Nights lore. Trust me, we'll be over in the tribute store for that one. As you can probably guess, we're tearing through these houses pretty fast, and it's because we have frequent fear with Express. I know, shoot me later. One of my challenges is to do this event one night with no Express. Take away all my abilities, make me wait in line, and see how much damage we can actually do in one day. Challenge number 5 is going to be the probably most exhausting challenge, is to do every house and both shows in one night. So 10 houses, 2 shows. Trust me, it is harder than you think. Now, I did mention that 10 houses and the 2 shows was going to be the most exhausting challenge. However, I may have overestimated my insanity. Next challenge is Rope Drop to Nightmares. I open and close Horror Nights from Stay and Scream till 2 o'clock in the morning. I am not going to like this challenge. This challenge I am insane for including, but we're adding it. We just got out of Jason, and this was a solid house. I feel like the Fast and Furious tent is such a weird kind of tent to work with. Last year we only had half of it for Major Suites, which was still a good house. Before we had Chucky, and the outside portion kind of cools off the flow. You don't have that beginning run, and it's all exciting, and then you come out and there's nothing, and then you go back in and it's a collage of different stuff. This, they incorporated the story and they pushed you into a collage of Jasons. If you're a Friday the 13th fan, you're gonna love it. If you're a slasher fan, you're really gonna like it. This was just like a classic, like, slasher house. I think it's such a great addition to this event. All in all, these houses are phenomenal. I don't think that there's a bad house at all in any capacity. And I'm gonna get my ranking down as soon as we're back to the Florida Man headquarters. You guys may see throughout some of these clips that we're wearing these bad boys. Not the Stay and Scream pads, but the bracelets. The Horror Nights bracelets is a kind of a nice thing in the community. You'll see on the Horror Nights Facebook page, a lot of people make them to trade them. So my goal is to make 31 of these bad boys. Right now, I got about 8. I gotta start giving them away. I'm gonna give away every single bracelet I make to team members specifically. I would love to trade it with the guests. If you guys see me in the parks, feel free to trade with me. But if I see a hardworking team member, I would love to give them that bracelet. You know, this is not an easy job to do. And even if they are working for hours, dealing with the rain, the heat, the nasty people that come to this event sometimes, sorry, we know who exactly we're talking about. But, you know, that nice gestures, you know, what makes it for some team members. So, challenge number 9 seems silly, but as you can tell, we start this event very early. I'm gonna restrict it to sundown challenge for number 9. Come to the event, do what I can in the dark. Honestly, this is how you're supposed to experience Horror Nights. I mean, look at this. This is how you're supposed to live. Our next challenge actually has nothing to do with Horror Nights. While the whole event is going, the rides are still open. So I'm gonna come and strictly just do the rides. Kind of show you what the wait times are like. This event has a lot to it. So Mummy's open, Gringotts is open, Transformers is open, Rip Ride Rocket, unfortunately is dead for forever. It's gone, bye, Rip Ride Rocket. But it's kind of like a good way to kind of separate yourself from the houses, take a little bit of a break. On top of the houses, I want to do Nightmare Fuel and Ghoulish, insert name, I forget the name. We're gonna get the name down. I promise you guys, I'm gonna get the name down 13 times. Nightmare Fuel in and of itself is always a great time, and I'm so excited to see that Lagoon show. I know this is all insane, and I am putting way too much thought into this whole entire event, but we have 2 more challenges. The second to last challenge is to have a grand total by the end of the event of 150 runs through the houses. And my 13th challenge, probably the easiest challenge, is at the very last day of Horror Nights, November 2nd, is to finish up in a Christmas outfit, which I know is sacrilegious, but it's after Halloween. We're getting into the holiday season. Why not end the event in a little bit of, you know, Christmas cheer? Sounds crazy, and it's such a stupid challenge, but that's all 13 of them. Get out of here. Alexander, come back to sleep. I got an early meeting out of town. Alrighty guys, we are back at the Florida Man headquarters. We finally wrapped up all 10 houses, and we're going to go into the full listing of what I think are the worst and are the best houses. But before we get into that, check out this merch. I tell you what, we're going to review all the merch in upcoming videos, but had to grab this Five Nights at Freddy's house on the way out. This is actually a Roosevelt's. You guys know me with the backwards head. I can't pass it up. But in any event, this year is unbelievable. I mean, compared to the past 2 years, this year definitely feels like Horror Nights has invested nothing but time, money, and energy into this year. From the scare zones to the houses, you can really tell that this year's got a ton of TLC. I really do feel like it's the year of improvement. From the covered areas to the indoor queues for the houses, I feel like that even though that it is a busier year, it is a lot more enjoyable than previous years. You can tell that each house was given so much love. Walking through Fallout, you feel like you're in the TV show. I mean, walking through Jason, you can just tell that the team members behind this loved what they were doing. I mean, this whole event is just radiating with passion, and I love it. Now, guys, please keep in mind, I love every single one, and I can't wait to watch them evolve during the event. Now, there are really good houses, there are really great houses, and there are houses that blew me away in ways that I couldn't even describe. So, let's get into it. Let's start from the bottom, and by no means is this a bad house. Unfortunately, the number 10 spot goes to Galkin. This house is beautiful. It is very well made. The actors are doing a phenomenal job. I love the rotating set piece. The unfortunate thing is a lot of the props and costumes are reused. It definitely feels like you're walking through an old Horror Nights house because in a way you are. I noticed a lot of the similar costume design, and I know that the team likes to reuse props, but it's hard to not feel like this is a house that you've already been through. My number 9 spot, I was kind of fighting with how to continue on with this list. Like, I feel like Galkin, you can kind of set as the basis, but from here, it's going to get a little messy, so I apologize. But number 9 is going to go to HHN Chains. This house feels like a classic Horror Nights house. You're going through a beautifully themed section. Looks like the Wild West. You have nice puppeteering. Great costume design. I love that the demons have this beautiful yellow glow to them. It looks really cool. I like the dynamic feel of the train towards the end of the house, but I feel like it's kind of surface level. It's a good house, but there are better houses this year. Now, if you're going to create a house and you're going to preach to us that is going to be the scariest, most disgusting, horrible house, it's worse than Insidious, it's worse than X, it's worse than Z. Make it worse than those things. I'm giving my number 8 spot to Terrifier simply because it's good. I had a fun time going through this. I was nervous before going through this house simply because they amped it up. That, oh my god, this was going to be horrible. You're going to come out feeling nauseous. Even people online would be like, oh my god, I came out of the Terrifier house feeling sick. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Exorcist a few years ago was a lot worse than this house. Insidious last year, 110% was scarier than this house. Disgusting does not equal scary. It's just disgusting. If you walk through that house being like, yeah, that was weird, you're not going to come out being like, oh, I'm scared. Like, it's a cool concept. The movies are one thing. The house is another. I beg you, just make it scarier, please. The 7th spot is going to Terrifier's neighbor, Grave of Flesh. See, I got the name right. I told you I'd get it down. This house was unique. The podcast was absolutely silly. I mean, it had nothing to do with the plot, but I mean, you could tell that the team dove into its own lore. The deeper that you go into your own grave, the crazier it gets. The costume design's great. I love the masks for a lot of these monsters. I am curious why on the podcast you get an alien looking thing, but in the house you get almost like this rat hound looking thing. I loved it. I'm so excited to do it again. Definitely more of an artistic themed house. Number 6 is a controversial pick, but I think you guys will agree with me to a point.
But it goes to Fallout. It is a cool house. It is a very fun house. If you like the TV show, you're going to be like, oh my God, there's this, that, the next thing. If you're not familiar with the TV show, you're going to feel like it's almost like Galkin. You're like, oh, I've sort of seen this before with Descendants of Destruction. You're going to pick up that kind of like post-apocalyptic vibe with a lot of the scattered debris. You can walk through that house and it is littered with all sorts of fun little Easter eggs. It's a cool house. I love that you see the big T suit ghoul. A lot of great scenes, but it's not scary. It's cool. It's just not scary. We are now getting into the top 5, and I'm giving number 5 to Dolls. Let's Play Dolls. It is such a unique house. I mean, from the facade to the different set pieces, you walk through an oven, you feel like a toy. I think it's funny because Disney's always played with this, with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids to Toy Story Mania. We kind of have this notion of being turned into a toy. And what Horror Nights does is it takes that same feeling that another park did and makes it so grotesque. It makes it feel like you're one of Sid's toys. The actors are doing an amazing job. The design is great. It's simple, but it's great. It's such a fun and unique story. They don't have to get complicated with it. It's just a kid torturing toys. And I think we can all relate to when we were kids taking toys that we have and absolutely mutilating them. It is so fun. I absolutely love this house. The number 4 spot is going to go to Jason Universe. This house was awesome. This was a complicated space to work with, and the team did a fantastic job. I'm not going to go too much into it because I just talked about it in a few clips ago, but all in all, I'm very impressed with this. We are now jumping into the top 3, and the number 3rd spot is going to go to the icon of the year, Spanish Haunting. This house is beautiful. It is absolutely breathtaking. There's not a single scene in this house that you go, holy cow, the team did a phenomenal job. Everyone that worked on this house should congratulate themselves. It is amazing. The scares maybe need a little bit of evolution. You can tell based on the boo holes, based on the effects, that this could be a really scary house. But I feel like they just need to work on that little dance. Beyond that, absolutely stunning house. Our number 2 spot goes to our second video game themed house of the event, Five Nights at Freddy's. 2012 was the peak of Five Nights at Freddy's. Every kid wanted to play this game with their friends and get absolutely traumatized. When Blumhouse announced this movie, we were all grown up, over the moon, absolutely loved it. They did a phenomenal job. The amount of lore that's in this game is never ending, and I'm not even going to touch on it. But this house gave its due. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of the scares, but you could just tell that this house was radiating with love and passion. From the time that you walk in to the time you're leaving, you are like, this is peak. Even if you don't follow the series, you're going to love this house. Everything about it is amazing. I am so blown away by what the team did, and I cannot wait to do it again. But we still got one more house. If you were to tell me that the WWE house was going to be my favorite house of the year, I would have said that you're absolutely joking. It had to have been Five Nights at Freddy's. I was dead set that it was going to be at Five Nights at Freddy's. But I was blown away with how good the Wyatt family house was. I don't follow WWE at all. I have little to no comprehension of what's going on. I know that the Wyatt family has deep lore, that there is the Fireflies, and I know that there's real life story behind this plot line. I think this house is phenomenal. From the introduction of the WWE set, and you go backstage, and then you go into the Firefly set, everything about this is unbelievable. And I'm not even a WWE fan. I have no idea what's going on. And I love this house. There's something so captivating about this house to me. I am going to do a lot more research before I get back into it, but it is, without a doubt, one of the best houses Horror Nights has ever put together. I'm trying to figure out why this house is so incredible to me. You know, we have a lot of great IPs. Five Nights at Freddy's, Jason, Terrifier, real obvious bangers. But for some reason, WWE captures us with the big set pieces, the absolute dynamic where you start off in one theme section and you wind up in a swamp bayou, the way that they work around going backstage, it tells a story without even knowing the story. I feel like that this house is kind of going to be the underdog of the event. With all that being said, this list is 100% going to change. I'm going to update you guys about halfway through the event, and then at the very end of the event, I'll do one last ranking. All in all, I am so excited to go back there. We will be back there tomorrow for day 3 and any event. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Horror Nights. Hello, I'm Trevor.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
Horror Nights has a lot of it's a collage of all the different Sorry, one more time.